minutes into a 7-hour flight because of a quote-unquote smelly poo that was left in one of the plane's bathrooms. When asked about the unknown culprit, the pilot replied, "Whoever smelt it, dealt it." That's okay, you guys can laugh more, don't hold back. Thank you. A Walmart employee discovered a meth lab in an Indiana Walmart in one of the store's bathrooms. I guess it just goes to show that Walmart bathrooms are so disgusting that you could build a meth lab in one of them and no one would know. This week, a woman thought...
Oh, okay, hey Sarah.
Hey Phillip.
I'm just gonna do this one, okay? Thank you.
All right, I'll sit down.
The exit's right there, thank you.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd like you off camera. Hello, Purchase Late Night.
It's gonna be a good joke.
So, this week, a woman thought her apartment had been broken into by a block of ice because it shattered her window. Now, there was a lot of media coverage, but it eventually melted away, much like his rapping career. Vanilla Ice was spotted on the scene. Now, the police have told us to stop, collaborate, and listen so that we can truly capture this man. But will it ever stop? Yo, I don't know. Now, what really troubles me is that as he was leaving the scene, he said, "Yo, let's get out of here. Word to your mother." Thank you.
All right.
Yay!
Now to continue, because I often get interrupted during my monologue, last couple jokes of the evening. A patient at a South African university this Friday received the country's first ever successful penis transplant. Said the patient, "Please let it still be black. Please let it still be black." Thank you. I don't know why I said thank you. A patient at a South African university this Friday received the country's first ever successful penis transplant. Said his girlfriend, "There were some ups and there were some downs, but overall I was satisfied with the outcome." Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about the celebration sex. Yes, the procedure went really well. A patient at a South African university this Friday received the country's first ever successful penis transplant. Said the surgeon, "Sewing it on this guy was almost as fun as ripping it off the first guy."
Oh, no!
I like that one. I don't know why you guys don't like that one. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. We have a great show for you tonight. We have Purchase College's first ever fraternity here to talk about them and that, because, you know, at Purchase College, Greek life is not really existent, so we're really curious to hear about that. And our musical guests for the evening is Sequoia and Ericka. Yes, I remember the names this time. We're going to take a quick break with a digital short. I'm going to be back so I can remember more things. Goodbye.
I forgot to take my clothes off before I took the shower. Silly me. I forgot to put my foot in first. Silly me. Shit. Didn't do this one right either. Oh. Damn it.
Hey, I'm Sequoia,
And I'm Ericka.
and we're gonna play a few tunes for you. love, it was never enough. And I said love, it was never enough. And I said it was never enough. Running away from what you say, I'm afraid of yesterday, haunting my dreams while I'm awake, knowing to stay away. Cannot wait to see the day you come crawling back to me. And I said love, it was never enough. And I said love, it was never enough. And I said love, it was never enough. And I said
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I'm here with SUNY Purchase's first fraternity, Sigma Alpha Mu. Here they are. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Alex Rudder. I'm prior or president of the fraternity.
I'm Giovanni Spadera. I'm one of the founding fathers, and I'm trying to go for vice prior.
I'm Austin Isola. I'm just here to look pretty.
yay!
He does well. Good round of applause. So, I understand Sigma Alpha Mu is the first, hopefully, fraternity to be on SUNY Purchase's campus because, you know, we don't really have a lot of Greek life here. Do you guys want to talk a little bit about, like, the process, what you guys went through in order to get this together?
Absolutely. So first off, I have a lot of friends that go to schools like Michigan, Penn State, just the big universities where it's common to have Greek life, and just the stories, and not of the parties, but of the relationships they built. The brotherhood, as it's called, was just sounded incredible, and I was extremely jealous because, at least in my opinion, my experience at Purchase was that you had to find your friends, you had to make your way, especially if you weren't in the conservatory. You're on your own. You had to, I mean, I met Hagio at orientation, and that was like, we hit it off right then and there. So what I did was I first hit up, or I emailed this fraternity. I'm really trying to work on that vernacular.
It's okay, Alex.
The other day I hit them up. This fraternity known as AE Pi, or Alpha Epsilon Pi, because my father had been in that fraternity when he was in college, so I'd be like a legacy, pretty easy to get that going. And they were like, we just want Jewish boys. And I'm like, that sounds fantastic at Purchase. That's definitely thinking wide open. Because we're just predominantly Jewish here. And so I was like, gonna have to cut that tie. And then I reached out to Sigma Alpha Mu, and I said, hi, I'm a sophomore. I'd like to, actually I wrote to them second semester freshman year, but they really got back to me beginning of sophomore year. And it was a whole process of like, get us a list of guys. So I contacted, the friends that I did have. And that was great. Like I had, 16, 17 guys. The difference, the problem was that it was all in cliques. It was all guys that had never met each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I had this list of guys that, like, oh, fraternity, that sounds great. But that was the only step we really were stuck at. And so they started sending representatives over to meet with us. And the first meeting was so bad. I said, yeah, we have like 10 guys that want to meet with you. He comes and visits. 3 guys meet with him. I'm like, oh, it's over. They're gonna think we're not worth it. They're not worth their time. And then winter break comes by and we don't hear from them. And I'm like, all right, it's a dead dream. And they reach out to us again, like, hey, are you ready to get back to work? And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, that's amazing. And they sent another rep, And this time we had all the brothers show up, and they just took us for the ride. And me and two brothers who aren't here right now because they have a radio show going on, which is clearly more important. Whatever, yeah. Came with me to Connecticut, Stamford at the Marriott Hotel to go to a regional meeting, and we met with Sammy from Yukon, Marist, just all over the northeast region of the country, and they're developed, Geneseo and Bing, and the difference you see between them and us was just how much they get along. They feed off each other. There's just this energy that I didn't really feel yet at Purchase in terms of just accepting each other for difference of opinion. I feel like everyone thinks, think wide open, but if you go against the status quo, you're not thinking wide open enough. You're thinking too close in your own idea, but no one wants to hear it.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Purchase really promotes the idea of thinking wide open, and why can't we do things, the traditional college route? So I understand you guys have about 14 actual founding members right now from like the 17 that started. That's really fantastic to see a lot of people stick that kind of stuff out.
Yeah.
Do you guys have like any events? Like, how can Purchase students get more involved with helping you guys become like legit?
Well,
Okay, yeah, sure. Well, we were thinking that maybe if we could like get in touch with what's Hello. To go to some of their meetings, get more people to know that we exist, or we're trying to exist here. Try to run programs at the Stew, try and throw like some gatherings where people can just hang out or just understand more about us, what we do, what we want to do, our philanthropy, where we're in touch with the Judy Fund to try and raise money for Alzheimer's. And we just want to get not just ourselves, but the idea of Greek life, fraternity out there to the point where it's not the typical view where it's drinking alcohol, getting in trouble, and just trying to like...
We're not racist either, by the way. We're not about
We're not racist.
Good.
That's how open we are.
That was one thing I talked to my brother about. He goes to SUNY Buffalo, and he knew the fraternity, Sammy, and he said, "Oh, Sammy was a bad fraternity." I found out the fraternity at SUNY Buffalo is unregistered. There are so many unregistered frats that just use the letters and have a bad name. We're registered through the actual Sammy organization, and we're gonna try and bring a positive role model, like positive group to SUNY Purchase.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think that's something that Purchase probably needs, and I think it's really great that you guys really want to put a positive light onto Greek life, because a lot of the times it gets put in such a negative context. So you can keep an eye out for Sigma, Alpha, Mu coming up with events soon. Thank you guys so much. We're going to be right back.
Thank you.
You guys, fraternities are known for cisgender, predominantly heterosexual males, but would you be accepting of transgender males as well?
This came up in the meeting a couple of times, and there's two parts to it. Purchase in their bylaws. In terms of, we want at least, if we can't be recognized as Greek, we want to be at least recognized as a club. We have a cheese club, which is awesome, and we have all these clubs. Yeah, I know, right? Ridiculous. Not enough cheese. So with that whole unisex idea, is that there are fraternities and sororities, and there also are at schools co-ed fraternities where there are men and women together. That question in particular has been touchy amongst fraternities forever, and basically what we were told is if we ever have a transgender, transsexual pledge, is what they're known as, people who are trying to become in the fraternity, just talk to the registration, call up national, and then they deal with it. It's really a case-by-case thing. There have been reports of transgenders doing that specifically for the purpose of just destroying it from the inside out, because they think it's very elitist. I think that by getting into this fraternity, they're at least it's kind of like a vigilante kind of thing. So we're not exclusive to any gender or race. It's kind of just if you believe what we do, and just believe in the sense of being there for someone else and being part of something bigger than yourself, which I think is not really here at Purchase at all. So yeah, that's a good question.
Thank you. Thank you, Sigma. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Sequoia and Ericka.
conspires with the night and dreams that haunt my restless mind seek to sound the light. Is it here where I fear why it is known will disappear? Can you calm my restless mind? Is it here where I fear why it is known will disappear? Can you calm my restless mind? Curtains closed, windows shut. You tell me I think too much. I tell you, go away, come back when it's a brighter day and sand that slips before my eyes. Expires with the night and dreams that haunt my restless mind seek to sound the light. Is it here where I fear why it is known will disappear? Can you calm my restless mind? Is it here where I fear why it is known will disappear? Can you calm my restless mind? Is it here where I fear why it is known will disappear? Can you calm my restless mind? Is it here where I fear why it is known will disappear? Can you calm my restless?
So, where do we go if we want to hear more of Sequoia and Ericka?
You can friend Slow Lures on Facebook.
Yeah, it's a person, but yeah, Slow Lures on Facebook, and we have shows periodically. And Sequoia is putting out an EP album.
Yeah, I have a
soon.
solo album coming out
Yeah, which
in like
I'm on.
2 weeks, and she's on it. You can check out my website,
Yeah.
sequoiasalinger.com. I do film scores and musicals, and
Yeah, don't you have a musical?
I have a musical coming up, but I don't want to talk about it.
Whatever. Yeah.
Okay, well, in that case,
Lots of things, but we don't talk.
okay, that's fair. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's our show. Thank you so much for coming by. You can follow us on Twitter, you can like us on Facebook, and you can follow us on Instagram as well. We're actually going to take a brief hiatus because at SUNY Purchase we have spring break coming up. Spring break for everyone. So we'll be back in April. Stay tuned for more of this. We'll see you later.